Hey, Johnny, recently we did an interview with Gino Jennings in Greensboro, and it's gotten more hits. So, of course, I asked him about you in it as well. But what is up? Why are these numbers so high?
So, Charles, is this your YouTube site?
It is.
All right. So your YouTube site has over 50,000 views on it.
Yep.
And my answer is that banner that was outside.
Oh,
There, you just don't see anybody put themselves in that kind of position. I'm talking about us putting ourselves in that kind of position.
Mm-hmm.
I had to stay with that banner myself, and so they had
The no-show Gino banner.
no show. Gino no show.
Yeah, that's right.
And so I've been trying to get Gino to have a discussion with me outside of his staged platform,
Right.
where he has everything geared towards the Gino Jennings show, and everybody knows that Gino is a good performer. Now, so we had that sign out there. We had men inside, and people knew that we had these men inside, and so it's just, finally we were able to put Gino in the position that he didn't want to be put in. And his groupies, Charles, the people that follow him, they are driving us crazy on our YouTube, on our comments. It's just, it's just nonstop. And so,
What are they saying? What are they saying to you?
well, sometimes they're saying, why didn't y'all go inside? He said he would meet anybody. Well, we know he's not going to meet anybody because we've already been inside of his events 4 times in Martinsville, Virginia, and went inside and offered the man free airtime. So that's pretty much what they want to know. And then number 2, they want to know, why don't we leave Gino alone? What in the world? You talking about leave Gino alone? Gino is the master fighter. He's constantly talking about how big and how bad he is. Got a body bag for the last person who was going to debate him. And he knew we were there. So why did he not respond? And that's what they're waiting on. I think his people smell blood, Charles.
Well, let me ask you. I got even myself because I look into the monitors on Sunday night and it's Gino. Why so much Gino?
Well, the reason we're doing that is because of this area. Historically, now I'm talking to local people here. When we were talking to our YouTube crowd, I'm talking to local people. Historically, this is the home of apostolic people. S.C. Johnson was the leader of Gino Jennings' daddy's group, and S.C. Johnson was born right over in North Carolina around Rocky Mount, Wilson, Tarboro. This is their area. And so he wants it. S.C. Johnson left here and went to Philadelphia. R.C. Lawson continued to harvest this area. William Bonner continued to harvest this area. J.C. Richardson is a William Bonner guy. That is the reason why.
Darcel?
Darcel, her daddy. I can't think of her daddy's name. You can think of it. Apostle Campbell is apostolic. And Gino sees all these people getting old, and none of them are really doing anything. Mark Price is gone already. Early Dillard is, I would say, if Early Dillard's not on the walker, he's going to be on one very soon.
Well, people call our station and say, why has Johnny been so hard on apostolics?
Because we stamped out apostolics around here. I mean, Charles, in
Now, how do you prove that?
2010, a guy from California came down here for 4 days, and he said, the apostolics are doing so poorly, I'm so ashamed of them, I'm flying in here from California to answer you. So that is the proof. We have not had an apostolic since J.C. Richardson come on, and J.C. Richardson came on with a contract that he broke himself. So there is no doubt that you don't hear anything about one in the God anymore. I forgot about Reach Out Ministries. Bishop, can't think of his name out there on 58, right down from Mike Penn. He doesn't ever talk about one of the God ahead anymore. Avery Preston, don't hear a peep out of him. That is R.C. Lawson's church, is Refuge Temple. They're not doing anything but shaking their booty out there.
You think it's because you've been putting such a spotlight on it?
Absolutely. Absolutely. We have been putting a spotlight on Avery Preston and Alan Preston. They got signs up, Charles, says no cameras up in here. Who are they talking to? Everybody out that goes in there has a phone.
We know Darcel runs from you.
Oh, we definitely know Darcel runs from us.
Right.
Now, I will say, when we're talking about things like that, when I see Darcel, I can be friendly to Darcel, and I get along with, I really hate that and I mean no disrespect because I can't remember the pastor's name out there at Reach Out Ministries.
I call it over 50. We all have that problem.
Yeah, but he's a pretty big deal around here, and he's a nice guy.
All right. Well, let's press it to the point because I mean, I know I mean, you've been saying Gino, no show, and how many years you said? 22 years you've been trying to.
22. Yeah, 22 years. He was here the first time in 2020.
On that show, the one segment I did, he acted like he didn't even know you.
I saw his, Charles, I saw his security detail out there looking at that sign. They absolutely 100% know who I am. He knew very well what was going on.
So you think that's an act?
He had to downplay it because what in the world? You're the man who is saying everybody that comes in, just come on up in here, we'll talk to you. And I got a sign out there that says no show, and a television broadcast station that's been on him for 4 months, Charles, before he ever got here. We started this in like September. Mm-hmm. Gino every other show. And it's not Gino really. We're talking to the apostolics around here. They know that he's their champion.
Right. And you've been making fun of his temple.
Yeah, I've been making fun of his temple here in town.
Yeah. You've been showing it on the show.
We have showed it a few times. Yeah, it's just it's a ramshackled old building. I don't know who it used to belong to. Nothing around it. You know, really, Charles, you want to get down to it, it's a kind of spooky area down in there. And I don't want to diss Dick and Willie walking trail, but it's kind of behind their walking trail.
Yeah.
And it's, you know, you go down there at night, I don't even know if they got a street light down there. So, yeah. And not only that, he has a vision that he is pumping right now since he's been here. He just came out with it about, the other day it was 20 hours. I'd say it's probably 4 days ago he came out with it talking about, every time I go somewhere, Gino Jennings, this is a quote, when I go there, there's going to be a temple. First visit, going to be a temple. Well, excuse me, Gino, you've been here 22 years and you don't have a temple. And if you're calling that thing out there on Red Oak Street, 310 Red Oak Street, go out and visit it and see what kind of things he's got going on here in Martinsville and Henry County. Gino, no show. We're going to keep it up.
All right. Last question. I want your prediction. Will Gino ever debate you?
No. I'll say this, and here's my proof. I am on television in the same area where the body bag was set up for Tony Smith.
Why hadn't he done the body bag on you?
The question is, why has he never invited me to a venue like he invited Tony Smith? I don't know if they rented a school, Charles. That television station is on the Wesleyan College in Rocky Mount, North Carolina's property. They have a venue for debates. We could have a debate in the same kind of venue. It's neutral. I cannot control at Wesleyan College, neither can he. But he's never going to have a debate with us where we actually talk to each other in speeches, not yakking back and forth. I'll yak back and forth with him in a session. You know what I'm saying? In a 20-minute session, we've had plenty of debates here where we talk back and forth. We let the community call in. I don't think Gino Jennings will take phone calls from the community. It may be that he's scared of them. So the first time he was here, I went back to the station after going into the Econo Lodge to meet him face to face. I went back to your station, Charles, and women answered for Gino Jennings. And you know how he is about women. All these women calling in talking about he don't have time to talk to you. He's sitting in a hotel room, didn't have anything else going on, and he owned airtime. So it's I think the people around here are excited, Charles, about him. I think the people in North Carolina are excited. And let's just ask the question, who's going to get the apostolic stronghold around here? I wish J.C. Richardson were here. I wish we was on a call-in show with J.C. Richardson and ask him what he thinks about Gino Jennings. I know he hates him. All of the Pentecostals, apostolics hate him.
Why would they hate Gino?
Because Gino's claiming he's not apostolic anymore. And everybody knows that S.C. Johnson and R.C. Lawson were both apostolics. R.C. Lawson had S.C. Johnson up under him, and he broke off and went to Philadelphia, and they called themselves apostolic. He has some property, Charles, that actually has apostolic in the name. First Church of our Lord Jesus Christ Apostolic, Franklin Street in Philadelphia.